I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev
was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you named is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect.
To go to the 12th round, that's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put great show. You know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve.
He like me. He's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started hitting me like, all right, man, maybe he on to something. You know, and then I started sizing him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7". You know, my arm's long.
Terence Crawford is not just stepping up in weight to challenge Canelo Alvarez, he's sending a warning. A knockout warning. This move feels more like a personal mission than a business decision. Crawford recently revealed he accepted only $10 million for the fight, far less than what a fighter of his stature and drawing power would typically command, but he made it clear, this isn't about the money. It's about legacy. It's about doing something almost no one has ever done before, becoming a 3-time undisputed champion across 3 different weight classes, including one where he's never even fought. And after putting Canelo to sleep, Crawford says he's going right back down to 154 to try and become undisputed again, just to prove, once and for all, that he's the greatest fighter of his generation.
But she been ready. I've been ready. What you talking about? You know the real deal. You know the real deal. You know the real deal.
Somebody smack the shit out of your gun, man. Shut up. Shut up.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
I got $10 million for that fight. I'm doing it for the opportunity, the legacy. The legacy outweighs the money. 3-time undisputed, coming soon. I might go back down to 154 and do it again, Crawford said in a recent interview with AK and Barrett. That mindset is rare in modern boxing, especially for someone who's already 37 years old, a former undisputed champion at both lightweight and welterweight, and someone who, on paper, has nothing left to prove. But for Crawford, this isn't about the paper anymore. It's about chasing a level of greatness that only comes around once in a generation.
Great show, you know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then wait till do it.
What makes Terence Crawford's pursuit even more staggering is that he's not looking for a tune-up or a feel-out fight at 168 pounds. His first step into the super middleweight division, a showdown with Canelo Alvarez, a man who has built his legacy in that very weight class for nearly a decade. Canelo has been comfortable at super middleweight since 2018, dominating the division and most recently defending his titles against William Skull in May, reaffirming his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion. Crawford knows exactly what he's getting into. But he's also made it clear, he's not coming just to survive. He's coming to finish the job. He sees a KO, not just a decision, and if he gets it, it would shake the boxing world to its core.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that.
But this fight isn't just massive because of Crawford's ambition, it's also about how both fighters seem so confident in their outcome that they are already looking past each other. Canelo, speaking to the Ring magazine, said he still has his eyes set on a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. That's the fight I want. That's the one that keeps me up at night. I hope I get the opportunity to have the rematch with Bivol. That's the only fight at 175 I'd really take, Canelo said. I want to tell myself, hey, you learned something from that fight. These are the things you don't need to do again. I have that thing inside me that says, you need to show you're a better fighter than him.
For fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit.
That mindset suggests Canelo may see Crawford as more of a stop along the way than a real threat, but that could be the exact miscalculation Crawford is counting on. Oddly enough, both men seem to believe they are the ones with nothing left to prove, setting the stage for fireworks once they finally share the ring. The fight is scheduled for September 13th, and the buzz is already building, even though the official venue has not yet been confirmed. When asked if Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas was still an option, Canelo responded, we're still working on that, but we're going to make sure everything is the best.
Crawford. But you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Other than the size difference and having to put on some weight, what challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys.
Boxing insiders aren't holding back their opinions, and they are divided on how this will go. Former world champion Tony Bellew made a bold prediction: Canelo likes to wait. It has to be at his pace. But he's not going to get that with Terence Crawford. I think Crawford will outwork him, potshot him, and win on points. I get why Canelo's the favorite, but all good things come to an end, and if I'm wrong, if Canelo becomes the first man to beat Terence, I'll give him all the credit in the world. No one's figured out Crawford yet.
Great performance tonight.
Oh, I feel great. I win. I come to put a great show, but to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with Williams' score?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him.
That's the tension surrounding this fight. Crawford has never been beaten. No one has solved the puzzle. Not at 135, not at 140, not at 147. Now, he's skipping an entire division and going straight to 168 to try and do it again. Canelo, on the other hand, has only 2 losses, one to Floyd Mayweather early in his career, and one to Dmitry Bivol in 2022. Otherwise, he's looked nearly unbeatable, especially at super middleweight. Canelo has the edge in size, experience, and comfort at this weight, but Crawford, he brings a different kind of fuel, a hunger you can't teach.
You just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, I'm sorry, it's my first time, and I just tried to put a good fight, and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put.
I want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. We both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So
there's no way he beats Bivol. That's how Oscar de la Hoya responded when asked whether he truly believes Canelo can win a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. There's just no way. Styles make fights, Oscar said. And as much as I would love to see a Mexican win inside that ring, a national hero, there's no way he beats Bivol. While de la Hoya was firm in his stance, Caleb Plant, who has shared the ring with Canelo, offered a more measured view on Canelo versus Crawford. I'll give Crawford a shot. I don't know who wins, honestly. There are weight classes for a reason, right? But at the same time, Terence is a special person, special abilities. Special mental fortitude. Special strength. Plant said he didn't pick a winner, but he did emphasize the one quality everyone seems to agree on when it comes to Crawford: he's different. He's obsessed with discipline. He fights with a chip on his shoulder that doesn't fade, even after reaching the highest levels of success. Plant also added, I feel like this Crawford-Canelo matchup will be a lot more fan-friendly. Bud's not going to be running around the ring for 12 rounds, I can assure you. That's not in his blood, and it's obviously not in Canelo's either. So I think it's going to be a fan-friendly fight. If that's true, this fight won't just be historic, it'll be entertaining in a way that elite-level boxing often isn't. When both fighters are overly cautious, high-level bouts can turn into chess matches. But with two men this confident, both with something to prove, even after achieving more than most fighters ever will, the odds of a slow, tactical fight go down dramatically. This one may turn into a battle of wills.
Every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canelo.
You know, Canelo. Yeah, you know how Bill do it too, yeah.
Every time, I'll be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at like, okay. And he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started.
Not everyone is buying into the Crawford hype. Sebastian Fundora was blunt when asked about Crawford's chances. I don't think so. This guy, Canelo, is more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting at that weight for 4 or 5 years now. Fundora didn't stop there. He pointed out that Crawford has fought only once in the past year and will be 38 by the time he steps into the ring in September. We saw the decline in Crawford in his last fight against Israel Madrimov. He didn't look like the spring chicken he once was. Age has kicked in.
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing. He's boxing, and you know things happen.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, of course. It was the fight.
He was a good dancer.
Yeah.
Would you rather see him fight Gus Haney again or Rowley again?
When asked again if he thought Crawford could beat Canelo, Fundora doubled down. I don't think so. This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting there for years. Crawford's a great fighter, but we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen. He was then asked if Canelo looked like he was slowing down in his last fight against William Skull. No. I don't think so. He looked fine. If anything, Crawford's the one coming in uncomfortable. Fundora also criticized Crawford's decision to skip a tune-up fight at 168, saying it could leave him unprepared for the demands of the division, put Crawford in with a fringe-level fighter like Bektemir Malikuziev, and he might lose. He even went as far as questioning Crawford's drive and hunger, but is rich now. Unlike most wealthy people, he's not as ambitious to work hard as hungry fighters who haven't made millions. You can call it laziness. Lastly, Fundora dismissed the notion of an all-action war between Canelo and Crawford, suggesting fans are setting themselves up for disappointment. Crawford's going to use a hit and not get hit strategy, something like what fans see from Shakur Stevenson.
Cuando vine a pelear Madison y voy a volver a venir.
Canelo, I'm sure you saw the fight with Crawford and Madrimov, and you heard Turki Alishik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look,
many fans believe Crawford is just chasing a paycheck and won't even try to truly challenge Canelo. They expect Crawford to come in just to survive, staying on the move, avoiding Alvarez's power, and hoping to win by decision. Crawford is a great fighter, but we'll see, some say skeptically.
Hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that.
This fight will be massive.
And you mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened. You guys are both in your prime right now. You guys are both two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely, and that's what I've been saying. You got two guys, top three, pound for pound.
David Benavidez recently weighed in on the highly anticipated Canelo vs. Crawford fight. Benavidez didn't hesitate to praise Crawford's boxing intelligence, calling his ring IQ on another level and labeling him a great fighter with real strength. It was clear he respects what Crawford brings to the ring, but for Benavidez, the issue isn't Crawford's skills, it's the weight difference. Crawford has never fought at 168 pounds, a full 2 divisions above where he's dominated in the past. Benavidez pointed out that Crawford already started to feel the power of bigger opponents at 154 pounds, and if that was noticeable then, it will only get more intense against someone with Canelo's proven strength at super middleweight.